Oh, look at this. This is a dead alder tree supporting these oyster mushrooms.
Oh. Okay.
And these are edible and full of protein and really good wild food to go along with your nettle. So these, yeah, they're growing on a dead alder, and they're sort of like there's edible mushrooms, and then there's medicinal, and then there's kind of things that land in between. Now these have a lot of protein in them that it's really easy for your body to use. It takes minimal effort and minimal digestive energy and effort to use these proteins, and that's why I kind of consider them medicinal. Mm-hmm. But they're not hard, woody conchs like those polypores we saw. They're soft, so they're kind of in that middle. You know, they got a lot of medicine, and you can fry them. Whereas those other ones, you can only really use them in an alcohol or a water extract. Mm. So, and these are really easy to propagate too. You can take them, lie them on a piece of paper, and let the spores drop from the gills. So these are obviously a gilled mushroom. You can see the individual. You want to get closer? So instead of a polypore having a flat bottom, you got these distinctive gills, and that's where the spores develop. So if you took this off the tree and you let it sit on a piece of paper and let the spores drop, you could actually regerminate those seeds in water and then propagate them. So you could cut down alders at home and put them in the shade, and you could plug them in, like drill holes and plug them with spores, or even little tissue samples. So what you could also do is you could pull the mushroom off, tear it open, and cut a little piece off the inside, and you could propagate that from an actual. And if you find these mushrooms and they're unusually big, it's better to propagate them from a cutting, a tissue sample, than a spore. And it kind of reminds me of apple trees or fruit trees. If you cut a branch of a fruit tree you want, like let's say Macintosh or Royal Gala, if you cut the branch and propagate it or graft it to another tree, you know that from that branch on will be Royal Gala or whatever type of apple you want it to be. If you took that apple seed, if you open up the apple to the seed and you planted it, it might not be a Royal Gala or a Macintosh. So that's like spores and tissue. Okay. Cutting the tissue is kind of like cloning, kind of like taking a cutting. The spore. So for example, if you saw a huge oyster mushroom and you're like, I want to preserve that characteristic, you would want to take a cutting from a tissue rather than a spore. Okay, the spores could be all random little small mushrooms, big mushrooms, but yeah, if you want to.
But you'd be guaranteed that you're going to get that same
as long as you gave it enough water and enough light or the right conditions, it would probably have very similar characteristics.
That's interesting.